February 20th through this email. I have stage 4 lung cancer and will be riding my bike across America to raise awareness starting March 10th from San Diego. I shook my head. I'm like, really? I mean, who in their right mind in her mid-50s rides a bike across the country? Isabella Houssaye is one of those people. She's a mother of 5, co-owner of Material Culture, a local Philadelphia business, an endurance athlete, mountain climber, and though she never smoked and has always led a healthy, active lifestyle, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer 2.5 years ago. Isabella indeed recently biked across the United States to raise awareness for this disease and is living proof that the research our organization is supporting is making strides in making lung cancer a chronic illness rather than the deadly disease it has historically been. Isabella would actually say that the past 2.5 years have been the most meaningful and joyful years of her life, and she is going to share with us tonight some tips on how to make each and every day the best day of your life. It's my honor to introduce you to my new friend, Isabella. Isabella, over to you.
Thank you, John, so much for including me tonight and for all the work you all are doing to support lung cancer research. And thanks to everyone for attending and supporting those efforts as well. And as John said, I am living proof that your dollars have real life impact. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. And as hard as it may be for you to believe, that the past few years living with lung cancer are the best of my life, it really is true. There's something about being so close to death and then living that makes you really appreciate each moment. It's like amplified 1,000 times every day. And that's just an amazing experience. Having said that, I really wouldn't wish lung cancer on anyone. And I was hoping to share tonight some tips for finding that same kind of joy without actually having to come so close to death's door. So I thought a lot about what I wanted to say, because I really wanted to keep it simple. You guys will be drinking. I want to make sure you remember what I have to say in the morning. And I wanted it to be impactful. I want you to wake up and say, hey, she actually said something that's going to change my life. So I came up with this idea, and I was very pleased with myself. And I shared it with my children, and I was very sure they were going to say, oh, wow, that's deep. And instead they said, Mom, that's a meme. It's like, people are going to laugh at you and think you're joking. That is the kind of thing that the teenagers hang on their walls. It's silly. And I'm like, wow, who knew, But I'm going to stick with it because I think that it is powerful, and it may be something that's hanging on your wall, but let's take a few minutes and think about it. And that's the idea that if we all lived more, laughed more, and loved more, we'd all live much happier lives. So that's my theme for the night. Live more, laugh more, love more. And I want to talk about what that really means. So live more, what does it mean? I'm sure that, all of you may say, oh yeah, I want to live a full life, but you don't necessarily wake up every day and say, today's the day I'm going to do something that makes me happy. We sort of think about our to-do lists and other things. And, living more for me means taking advantage of every day, seizing the day, that expression, carpe diem. It sort of means not waiting to retire to start having fun and taking vacations. It's just to find something every day. The expression, stop and smell the roses. It actually means something. When I was in high school, I remember thinking to myself, oh, I want to experience life in every way, shape, or form I can. I want to experience the good, the bad, the sad, the ugly, the whole shebang, because I only get one chance. I want to try everything. I want to travel everywhere. And that sort of attitude, I feel, has really enriched my life. And I feel like, it's just really good. It's the advice I would share, just to seize every day, try something new every day. If all you did was wake up every morning and say, today I'm going to try a new food. I'm going to try something different. That would be huge. So that's number one. So live more. And just on that, just one last thought on that, like carpe diem. When John said that I called him in February, sent him an email about my bike ride, I literally decided after one doctor's appointment that I was going to do that bike ride, and I had 8 weeks start to finish to make it happen. And sort of never in my life have I sort of lived that carpe diem as I did in that moment when I got your cancer stable word from my doctor, and just thought, this is my chance and I have to take it. And honestly, if I had waited on that, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. The cancer is progressing a bit. So I feel so blessed that I was able to seize that opportunity and do that bike ride. So live more, number one. So the second piece of advice, laugh more. Again, how many of us make a conscious effort every day to laugh? We sort of wait for life to give us something to laugh about. And sometimes that doesn't happen, but it's actually possible to take charge of your laughter. We actually have like yoga classes that are geared to laughing more. And you can teach yourself to learn to laugh no matter what life throws at you. And that's a really key part of taking ownership of your own happiness. Sometimes that's just changing your perspective, finding the good and even the worst of situations. And sometimes it means that, when things just get so dire, you just have to throw up your hands, and tears don't even cut it anymore. And that's when you just have to laugh at the, how insignificant we all are in the scheme of things. When I was first diagnosed, I had a really hard time actually finding the laughter. I was so devastated and really focusing on everything I'd lost in that diagnosis and how my life had changed. And, for a few weeks, I actually lived that way. And I'd have sort of glimpses of laughter, and then I would devolve into tears, and it's pretty pathetic. But I actually woke up. It was like I had this epiphany one morning. I woke up and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So if I have so little time left, what good does it do to sit here and feel sorry for myself? And that was a real changed moment for me. And, and I found my laughter again, and I found, all the joy that comes with that, and that decision to sort of seize what days I had left and really make the most of them. Laughter feeds the soul and the body. It's catching. There's that 1928 song that Louis Armstrong sang, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you, and when you're laughing, the sun comes shining true. And it's just so true. So you just do it. Just laugh more. Final thought for the night. You guys will love this, particularly after you've had a few bottles of wine. Love more. So how many of us, wake up every day and say, today's the day I'm going to love more? We just don't do it. But if we did, how great would that be? How much better would the world be? It's as simple as complimenting someone, helping someone do anything that, helping someone who needs help, doing anything that brings joy to someone else. There's such a charge of happiness that flows through you when you've made someone else happy. If you just did one thing every day that made someone else happy, you'd increase your own joy like 1,000 times. So on that note, just those are my three points. Live more, laugh more, love more. And I'm going to introduce you now to our next speaker, my friend Bill Walton, who really is the epitome of live, laugh, love. Many of you know him for his extraordinary basketball career and the energy and brilliance he brings to sports commentary. Some of you may even know him for being the world's most renowned deadhead. He's personally my hero because he exudes open-mindedness, a can-do attitude, generosity, the ability to laugh at himself, and for all the love and support he's shown me through my cancer journey. I was actually with Bill the night before I left on my cross-country ride, and, you know, typical of me, it began to dawn on me the night before I'm leaving, sort of how difficult it was going to be. Sort of, you know, the task of what I was taking on was overwhelming, and I was sort of filled with self-doubt and a little bit of fear. And Bill was there, you know, exuding positivity and giving me encouragement and reminding me that failure's not defeat till you stop trying. And I was so grateful for that. And so grateful that he's joined us tonight. And so without further ado, my friend and inspiration, Bill Walton.
I was there with Isabella. It was the first week in March, just before the lockdown happened. Her husband, David, was there, and her sister had flown in from New Orleans and Houston. We had our family. It was one of the last events that was allowed to take place before the lockdown, the shelter in place, and the stay at home and the social distancing. But as Isabella's show and tell prop tonight, I couldn't be more full of life. I couldn't be ready to laugh more, and I couldn't be more willing to love more, particularly when the theme of the night is drinking for a cause. And I can remember back to when I was playing for the Boston Celtics, and we were drinking for a cause as well. And we were going for something that was the highest purpose that an athlete could go for, which was the league championship. And we were getting very, very close, and this was a team of spectators.